All right, so first full day of the winter meetings, and the big news, at least as of now, as of this recording, Padres, what Mike Shildt, the manager, said about Roki Sasaki. And Roki, he was posted, I believe, earlier today. And so teams can start talking to him tomorrow. And then it's 45 days, a 45-day negotiating window for Sasaki to sign with a major league team. And it's not just going to be about the money. It's not like Juan Soto or Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So it's going to be interesting to see what Roki wants, if we're ever going to even know that until after he signs and then talks to the media. Maybe that's when we will know, because I don't know how much I should trust sources when it's a Japanese player. And I would think Joel Wolf, who represents Roki, would want to keep things tight to the vest with this, but who knows? But yeah, Mike Shildt, he was on MLB Network Radio earlier this morning talking about Roki Sasaki, and he seemed very confident in the Padres' ability to go get Roki Sasaki. And I'll have some thoughts after I play this. But yeah, here's Mike Shildt.
Should be very legitimate contenders. We fully expect to be right in the mix, and actually at the end of the day, have Sasaki a Padre.
Yeah.
We've got AJ's done a tremendous job. The organization's done a tremendous job of making sure that we're very relevant internationally. Our roster speaks to it. We have a bunch of, we've got, obviously Darvish, and we've got, Yuki from Japan. We had Kimi over from Korea, and, multicultural club that, is open to that. I know, heck, AJ speaks Japanese. He worked on learning Japanese to, recruit, Otani, years ago. And I know they got really close there. So, we got Nomo in the organization that clearly is well respected, rightfully, in Japan. So we've got a lot of inroads, to get to Sasaki and make that happen. And I know we're going to put the full court press to make it happen. And we're very optimistic.
All right, here's that first part again.
Should be very legitimate contenders. We fully expect to be right in the mix, and actually at the end of the day, have Sasaki a Padre.
Yeah.
All right. So Mike Shildt just saying it right there. We fully expect Sasaki to end up being a Padre. I remember Dave Roberts being very confident that the Dodgers were going to get Shohei Ohtani last winter meetings. And remember when there were rumors out there, reports that Ohtani's camp didn't want anything getting out, no one talking about it. So there was talk that, oh, maybe Dave Roberts, messed up by talking about Ohtani, and now Ohtani's going to go to another team. He ended up going to the Dodgers. Like, it didn't matter. So as for Sasaki, Mike Shildt saying this, I don't think it's going to have anything to do with Sasaki's decision. Sasaki's going to go where he feels he best fits. And Shildt spoke to the media later in the day, and so I'll read that quote that talked more. He talked more about Sasaki. But I'm not mad that he said this. I'm not mad that he's confident in the Padres' chances of signing Roki Sasaki. He's the Padres. They are one of two teams that can say this about Roki Sasaki. I feel like the Padres and the Dodgers. Andrew Friedman, or Dave Roberts in this case, because it was the manager that said this. Dave Roberts and Mike Shildt are the two guys that can probably say this. That very legitimate contenders. They feel that, they're confident, optimistic that they can land Roki Sasaki. And, the Dodgers, obviously they have Yamamoto, they have Ohtani. They've, coming off the World Series, they've got the better roster on paper, all that. I understand that. But the Padres can make a case themselves as well. And Mike Shildt, he mentioned that and kind of made his case when he was talking to the media earlier today in Dallas there at the winter meetings. He says, I feel like the organization is in a really good place with Sasaki. If there's an open market competition to be had, I feel like we're in a good spot for a multitude of reasons. One, we're in San Diego. We sell out our ballpark every night. We've got a very competitive ball club. It's a chance for him to come in and create a legacy for himself to help win the first World Series. We have a GM that has established roots in Japan that clearly has been in the market with Darvish. We went out and got Yuki Matsui, that is. Heck, AJ learned to speak Japanese years ago in the recruitment of Darvish. He meant Ohtani, but he said Darvish, I guess, here in this specific quote. Hideo Nomo, is part of our organization, is clearly a Japanese presence and a well-respected figure in that part of the world. So we've got all these different things that are in our board and allow us to have a real competitive opportunity to get him and be a Padre. So that's via Alden Gonzalez, that quote that Mike Shildt had talking to the media earlier today. And yeah, if you're going to sell Sasaki on San Diego, you can sell him on Southern California, great place to live. You can be teammates with Yu Darvish. There's the history of bringing in Japanese players and players just overseas in general. It's a competitive ball club. You will be loved here in San Diego if you come to the Padres. Now, you could say the same thing about the Dodgers as well, obviously. But again, I'm hoping that we can really get that we can sell the competitiveness to Sasaki. Where do you want to go compete against the Dodgers or you just want to join them? Do you want the opportunity to be the face of the Padres rotation, or do you want to just join a rotation that has a ton of stars already? What do you want to do? If all he cares about is winning and wants the best chance to win year in and year out, he may not care and he just decides to go to the Dodgers. But as a Padres fan, I'm hoping that he's like, no, screw the Dodgers. I want to go join my mentor, Darvish, have us go take down the Dodgers. Like, what a heck of a story that would be. And bring the first World Series title to not just San Diego, but I can help, a hero, Yu Darvish, win his first World Series title. Because obviously he has not won a World Series yet. He's been to one, has not won a World Series yet. So hopefully that can be something for him. The development, Shildt didn't even mention that, but the development of some guys in this Padres organization since Ruben Niebla has come here, I think there's a pretty strong track record there. There's young guys in that clubhouse that are around Sasaki's age, like Merrill and Tatis, guys like that I'm not saying the Dodgers don't have any of that, but most of their stars are more in the 30s. Look, with Mike Shildt saying this, he's an optimistic guy. If he ends up signing with the Dodgers, Sasaki, obviously Dodger fans are going to retweet, these quotes from Shildt and laugh in our faces. But again, it's one thing if this was the Angels or the Rangers or the Marlins that were saying this. It seems like this, how Soto was between the Mets and the Yankees, and even if the Blue Jays got mentioned or the Red Sox got mentioned, it felt like it was always the Yankees and the Mets to me. It was either going to be one or the other. Those were going to be the highest bidders. Soto was going to go to one of them. With Sasaki, it feels like, and obviously we haven't seen Sasaki, talk about anything, but to me, it feels like, just reading reports, that it's Padres and Dodgers. And so we'll see who's going to have the better pitch. But also, what does Sasaki want? What's tough about this is whatever the Padres want to pitch Sasaki, the Dodgers could probably pitch that same thing. Now, unless it's like specific players, like we have Yu Darvish and they don't, but they have Yamamoto and they have Ohtani. I'm not sure what Sasaki's relationship is with those two guys specifically, but if you want to pitch development to Sasaki, the Dodgers can probably say the same thing. You want to pitch Southern California, the Dodgers can probably say the same thing. How are the Padres going to differentiate themselves with the Dodgers? To me, the main thing that sticks out is you have an opportunity to do something that's never been done in this franchise's history, where with that other team up the freeway, you will just be joining a team that just won and a place that you're not going to be the face of that rotation. You're joining Cy Young Award winners. You're not going to have that. I don't want to say impact, because he'll still have an impact on the Dodgers, but it's just, hopefully you get what I'm saying. It's just going to be different if you go join the Dodgers in comparison to if you join the Padres, where right then and there you will be able to be a difference maker, face of the rotation. You can be with Darvish, obviously. Does he want to compete and do something that will be remembered forever in the city of San Diego? Or does he want to just go join the Dodgers? I think the Padres do have the advantage starting January 15th because I think they have more international bonus pool money than the Dodgers do. So maybe that's an advantage. But if if it was about the money, Sasaki would have stayed in Japan for a couple of years and then he would have went the Yamamoto route and went and got $300 million. He's leaving a couple of years early because he wants to go be in the big leagues. He wants to compete. So hopefully, again, if he wants to compete, then you go join the Padres. Winning the World Series with the Dodgers, I'm not saying that's going to be easy if he goes and joins the Dodgers. But just as a Padres fan and someone that hates the Dodgers, I hope that Roki can have, the mindset that maybe me and some other Padres fans are sharing. Like, you have an opportunity to be a part of something really special. The Dodgers just won last year. Padres have never done it. That could be something where you will be a legend. You will be remembered forever. Oh, and by the way, it's pretty nice living in San Diego and the teammates that you'll have and the support that you'll have in this fan base. Darvish can he can talk about that all day with Roki Sasaki. And let's remember, Darvish's agent, I believe, is the same agent that Sasaki has, Joe Wolf. I could be wrong on that. Hopefully I'm not. But Joe Wolf has talked publicly about how much that meant to Darvish, that AJ Preller treated Darvish like just a great friend and not one of his players during that whole personal reasons thing that happened this year with Darvish. So maybe that's something that can help, the Padres to land Roki Sasaki. I think it's going to be close, tightly contested. I wonder when those conversations are going to happen, when those meetings are going to happen. I assume it will involve ballpark tours, the Padres, and then he'll go tour Dodger Stadium, I assume, and all the facilities and maybe spring training complexes as well. And we'll see where it goes. But yeah, today that was the news of the day so far. Mike Shildt talking about not really the news of the day, but just something that grabbed the headlines was Mike Shildt's confidence of the Padres landing Roki Sasaki. Later, when he spoke to the media in his more formal media session, he kind of tried to walk that back, but it came out of his mouth on MLB Network Radio, and that's what he said. And I don't fault him for it. He's one of two managers that can go out and talk like that, because I do feel like it will be between the Padres and the Dodgers.